Here we go. All right. Good morning, guys. There we go. I tried to go live just a second ago. I don't think it worked. But I think we're in business this time. Okay, yep, here we go. All right. So, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Erica. I am going to be guiding you through your weekly yoga flow. I just dropped those Spotify playlists underneath this live video to the comments, or it's in the picture I posted yesterday, so you're welcome to follow along. We're going to get started in just about a minute. We are going to start in Shavasana today, so lying down on our backs. So if you'd like to, if you're all ready for that, go for it. Lie down, get nice and comfortable. Making sure we're working. Yep, we are working. Okay, good. Awesome. So happy morning, happy Sunday, happy new day, new week. I haven't seen you guys this month, so happy June. Hope it's off to a great start for everyone. Just making sure we are actually working, because I know I had some trouble getting us started today. All right. I'm thinking we are good. If we are not, someone can comment or reach out and let me know. We're going to get started in just a moment. So make sure you have everything you need. All you really need is a mat. Even if you don't have a mat, you can put something down on the ground. I always recommend having a beverage. I have my water here this morning. If you have any props that you need, go ahead and grab them. If you want to get the music started, go ahead and do that. And we're going to get flowing in just a moment. So go ahead and lie down on your backs. Close your eyes. And start to settle in, and I'm going to meet you there in just a moment. Just start to take a few slow, deep breaths. And bring your focus to your breath. And that will help you bring your full attention to the present moment. That will help you to prepare your mind and your body for your yoga practice. Just settling in, taking a few breaths. Make them long and controlled. Full inhales and exhales. Good. And I just want to share with you quickly the daily affirmation I read this morning for today, for June 6th. I thought it was a good one, and hopefully it will resonate with you. It said, I give my mind, body, and soul time to rest and restore. Taking the time to allow myself to rest is a form of self-care. I expressed gratitude for how strong and capable I am of conquering my goals. I let go of all that no longer serves me. Peace and calm fuel every cell of my body. So kind of bring that into your heart, into your mind. Kind of hold on to that throughout your practice today, maybe even throughout your day and your week. And take just a few more moments, a few more breaths here in that rest, in that stillness that will help fuel us as we move through our yoga practice. Now I'm going to join you on my back, lie down with you. We'll take just another moment before we invite some movements into the body. So take just a few more breaths here, lying down on your back. Close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Maybe another one or two full inhales and exhales. And then let's gently start to invite some movements back into the body just to reawaken. Maybe start by wiggling the fingers or toes. Maybe rolling out the wrists or ankles. Very lightly. Maybe a gentle rock of the head side to side. Good. And when you're ready, let's hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze as you draw the legs in closer to the body. Your shoulders can lift or they can stay connected to the mat, whatever feels better for you. Remember, I'm simply your guide. This is your practice, so take it wherever you'd like it to go, whatever serves you best. Good. Good. And then let's bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. So right now you're just hugging in that right leg, and bring the shoulders and head down if they are off the mat. So give that right leg a little squeeze, maybe continue to move that foot and that ankle here. And then let's straighten that right leg high to the sky. Good. Here you can really point and flex the toes. You can really roll out the ankle in both directions. Good. If you want to get a little deeper into the hamstring, so the back part of the upper leg, you can interlace your hands really anywhere behind that right leg and gently draw the leg closer to the body. The leg does not need to be locked out. It's very early. It really never needs to be locked out, but it's very early in the day, very early in our practice, so a little bend is perfectly fine. Even a big bend if that feels better for you. Maybe taking a moment to lift the shoulders up. Maybe again pointing and flexing the toes, seeing how that hits the stretch a little bit differently. So always lots of options. Okay. Let's take another full breath. Good. If the shoulders are lifted lower, then let's cross that right ankle on top of that left knee. You can start just by really thinking about opening that right knee. Maybe using the right hand to the inner part of the right knee to open that hip a little bit more. Go very gently. We don't want to force anything, especially if we're not warm yet. Good. So getting into that right hip here. And if you're feeling this, you can stay exactly as you are. If you'd like to get a little bit deeper into this hip opener, I'm going to give you some options. And again, always options. So take what feels good, leave what does not. But you can interlace the hands behind the left hamstring as you lift the left foot off the mat. So as you do that, as you draw the left leg closer, it will force that right leg to come a little closer too, which will deepen the bend and that hip stretch. You can even straighten the left leg and lift the shoulders off the earth for a breath or two. Just make sure we're not compromising this cross of the right ankle on the left knee and opening that right knee. If you are, come back to where we started. If you're here or in any other variation, take another breath or two. Good. And let's slowly, piece by piece, start to lower out of this. So if the left foot is lifted, lower it. Release your hand grip. Keep the cross of the legs. Let's bring the arms out to a T. And we're going to take a little spinal twist here with cross legs. So drop the legs over to the left. Gaze off the right arm. Okay, now if you do not like this cross leg variation, you're welcome to uncross that right leg and take a traditional spinal twist. I like to kind of get the hip and the twist here at the same time. You might not get as deep into the twist, that's okay. Try to twist a little bit deeper when you exhale, twisting from the core. Final breath here. Good. Let's gently release out of this. Uncross the legs, hug the knees back into the chest. Maybe take a couple gentle rocks side to side. Massage out that lower back. Good. And then coming center. This time the sole of the right foot's going to play out that bent leg as we straighten the left leg high to the sky. Again, point and flex the toes. Roll out the ankle. Start slowly. You know where we're going, but let's not rush anything. And if you did so on the first side, the option to interlace the hands. Again, anywhere they want to go behind that left leg. As you gently draw the left leg a little bit closer to the body. Option to lift the head and shoulders, only if you did on the first side. Continue with that foot motion. Pointing and flexing the toes. Rolling out the ankles. So let's take one more full breath here. Get a little bit deeper in this hamstring stretch. Good. And then let's bring that left ankle on top of the right knee. And left hand to the inside of the left knee as you gently guide that hip open. So you want the knee away from the body. You want it in a straight line with your ankle. Good. And you might feel a nice little stretch here on that left hip. And if you do, you can stay right there. If you don't, you have those variations where you can lift the right foot, interlace the hands behind the right hamstrings. Try not to have this left knee come in, or try to keep it parallel with the ankle. So really open that hip here. And And you know you have that final piece if you choose to take it, straighten the right leg. Good. Again, keep that left knee out and open. That's the focus of this stretch, just left hip here. Using our body and our hand just helps us get a little bit deeper into that stretch. We're kind of doing our own manual adjustments here. Don't have someone else. You have someone else here to kind of press on you. That's great too. But if not, we have ways to do it ourselves, right? Okay, let's take one more breath. If you're in any other variation, let's slowly lower back where we started with the sole of the right foot back to the earth. Drop the top body, arms to a T. And let's drop the legs to the right this time, gazing off that left arm. Let's get a nice big stretch here through the hips. Little spinal twist through the core. You know you have the option to uncross the legs if you don't like this variation, to take a traditional spinal twist. Good. See if you can twist a little bit deeper for another breath. Good. Slowly and with control, we come back through center, uncross the legs, hug the knees back into the chest. Again, let's take a couple rocks side to side. Good. Let's actually take one big rock front to back. You can take a few if it feels good, just to get ourselves up into a cross-legged, easy seat position. Good. And when we're here, if you'd like to take a moment to set an intention for your practice, you can absolutely do that. So bringing something into your heart and mind that you're working on, creating energy for. Good. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Good. Let's get into the neck a little bit here. Let's slowly drop the chin toward the chest. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. Good. And we're going to take some circles in the directions. So right ear to right shoulder, head to the back. So we're going in a clockwise direction. Left ear to left shoulder. Good. Chin back into the chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice and slowly. You can close your eyes if you'd like so you don't get dizzy. Good. 1 more full revolution in this direction. Trying to get through all those kinks and knots in the neck. Good. When you come with your chin back to your chest, you can lift the head. We're going to switch the legs, but before we do that, let's uncross them. Let's straighten them out into Navasana, our boat pose. Give you a side angle here. Get into the core a little bit. And always nice to activate the core early. So you can have straight legs, arms straight out. You can bend the knees if that's a little bit easier. You can even have the toes to the ground. So pick your poison. We're going to be here for 5. Engage that core for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then as you cross your legs, put the opposite leg in front this time. And then we'll get into some neck circles, this time in the opposite direction. So chin to chest again to start. This time we'll go counterclockwise. So left ear to left shoulder. Draw the right right shoulder away. Go ahead, head to the back. Right ear, right shoulder. Into the chest. 2 more full circles here, nice and slowly. Close the eyes if that serves you better. Good. Taking your time, not rushing this. 1 more full time around. Good. Once you're done meeting back center, let's bring the soles of the feet together to touch as you draw the knees away and open to the side. This is our Baddha Konasana, our bound ankle. You can have the feet closer to the body to feel this a little bit more intensely. Or if that's too much, just draw the heels further away. Again, your body, everybody's different. Every day is different. So see what feels good for you today. Good. You can hold on to the feet. And then if you'd like to take a gentle fold, take a nice inhale breath to prepare. And as you exhale, just gently draw the chest closer to the feet. Make sure you're not lifting the knees here. We don't want to compromise that. But even if you just get a little bit of a gentle forward fold, you should feel this into your hips, maybe even into your lower back. Don't hold your breath. Oh, I feel this in my low back. Good. Let's very gently and with control start to lift out of this, and we're going to come into a tabletop. So crossing the legs and just rolling over onto the knees, finding a tabletop pose. So on our hands and knees, wrists straight down from the shoulders, knees straight down from the hips. Nice neutral spine to start, and we're going to move through some cat-cows to move our spine in both directions. So as you inhale, drop your belly, arch the spine, lift your gaze, maybe even tuck the toes. Good. And as you exhale, untuck your toes, press through your palms, spine rounds high to the sky as your gaze comes inward. Good. 2 more times, moving with our breath. Inhale, drop the belly, tuck the toes, lift the gaze. Exhale, untuck the toes, press through the palms, round the spine, gaze comes inward. Final time, let's make it our most dramatic. Inhale, find your cow. Good. And then as you exhale, final cat pose. That angry cat back, like a Halloween cat. Good, and meeting back in our neutral spine. Let's step the right toes to the back of the mat, have them touch down, and very gently pressing back toward the ball of the foot, getting a nice little calf stretch, a little ankle mobility on this right side. Good. And then we're going to actually turn this into a modified side plank. So left palm's going to plant center. Left toes maybe come out to the side a little bit like a kickstand. As you start to stack shoulders and hips, right arm peels up high to the sky. I'm going to turn, so if you need a visual, you can take a peek at your screen. Good. Modified side plank. Excellent. Now you have lots of options here. You can stay right here. You can lift that right leg. You can drop the right arm to frame out the ear. Good. I know some of you probably want to get into some core work right here, which you're welcome to do. Knee to elbow. I actually want to take a nice quad stretch here, so that's a great option too. If you want to bend that right leg, grab for the outer edge of the right foot with the right hand. Good. Not only do you get a nice quad stretch here and you're balanced on the left leg and left hand, but you get a nice little shoulder and chest opener as well. Good. Let's take one more breath. And then very gently and with control, we'll release that. Good. Back into our tabletop. This time, left foot steps to the back. Good. Ball the foot touches down. Get that nice calf stretch, maybe a little gentle movement. We don't want to move quickly or kind of jerk things in this stretch. We just want to take it nice and slow. Controlled movements. Good. Feels good. And then we will get into that modified side plank here once more. So this time right hand comes center, right toes out to the side, and then we'll peel that left arm up high to the sky, stacking hips, stacking shoulders. Good. You know you can stay here with the foot connected. You know you have the option to lift it. Find a little bit of balance. Drop that left arm to frame the left ear. Excellent. Good, and whatever you did on the first side is what you should do here on the second. So if you stayed, stay. If you did some core, go for it. If you did that quad stretch, reaching around for the outer edge of the left foot this time, really drawing that leg back, really kicking that foot into the hand, getting the nice shoulder and chest opener as you get the quad stretch in the front of the left thigh as well. Stretching those quadricep muscles that we use so much. One more breath here, whatever you're in. And then slowly we'll come out of that back into our tabletop. Good. So let's keep our legs and bottom half of our body exactly as it is, and slowly start to walk the hands forward as you lower the chest. Maybe even the forehead to the mat, finding a puppy pose. If you have a dog, you've probably seen this stretch before, hence the name puppy pose. Good. Get a nice stretch in the back here. And then slowly we're going to start to straighten the legs as we come to the forearms, lowering our bellies onto the mat, finding a Sphinx pose. Toes are untucked behind us. Forearms are down like a number 11. Chest is tall here. So nice little gentle back bend. And if you want to take this back bend a little bit deeper, you can press through the palms and start to straighten the arms for seal pose. Really get those hip flexors into the mat. If this is too much, go back to that Sphinx. Good. We're all going to gently lower the forearms back to the mat. Let's tuck the toes. We'll find ourselves in a forearm plank. Don't worry, we're only here for a couple of breaths. Good. Again, feel the core start to engage. Nice flat back. Suck in the belly. And very slowly, we're going to take one small step at a time to start to lift the hips. This is our dolphin pose. Good, nice big stretch in the shoulders. And then you can actually straighten the arms as you press through the palms, finding yourself in a downward facing dog. You might need to make some adjustments, so go right ahead. Make sure the fingers are nice and spread. Make sure the feet are about inner hips width distance apart. Lifting the hips, lowering the heels, melting the chest back towards the thighs. Maybe pedal out the feet again here. Taking any movements you need to get comfortable in this downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. And let's take a nice slow walk to the top of the mat. So 1 foot at a time, meeting in our forward fold. Good. So let the top body hang heavy, let the head hang heavy, let gravity do the work here. Again, legs can have a bend. Little micro bend's great. If you want to take a deep bend, see how that feels and straighten out, go for it. Good. Let's all together to create some space. Take a nice halfway lift. So on your next inhale, flat back, palms come to the shins. Exhale, fold. Good. Next inhale is going to bring us all the way up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Upward salute. Arms come out and overhead. I'm going to step back so you can see me. Good. Well, we're going to take a nice little side body stretch. Let's grab that left wrist with the right hand and let's tilt it over to the right. Gazing underneath that left arm off the bicep area. Good. Don't hold your breath here. Inhale breath brings us back through center. Switch the grip, so grab the right wrist with the left hand. Exhale, we bend over to the left. Side body stretch on that right side. Good. Again, gazing off the right bicep this time. Good. Inhale breath brings us back to center. Exhale breath brings us down. Part the hands. Swan dive back into that forward fold. Good. Plant the palms in front of the feet. Step back 1 leg at a time to our high plank pose. Good. And then let's lift the hips, lower the heels back in a downward facing dog. Good. We're going to move through one more sun salutation where we're going to link our breath with our movement and pick up the pace a little bit here. So you can take that walk or you can hop to the top of your mat, meeting in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Maybe a gentle back bend. Good. Exhale, float it back down to your fold. Plant the palms, step back to your plank. We're going to move through a flow if you want to. We'll take the first one nice and slow together. If you don't want to do this, you can hold the plank or go to down dog. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, we lower halfway through a push-up, arms nice and close to the body. Inhale, find your back bend of choice. I'm going with high cobra today. You can just have your hands and feet for upward facing dog, or if high cobra is too much, just lift halfway for low cobra. And then rolling over the toes, meeting back in downward facing dog. Guys, know if you need to take a break at any point, whether I cue it or not, you're certainly welcome to. We're going to keep this moving though. So from downward facing dog, we're going to lift our right leg, finding a 3-legged dog. Doesn't matter how high it comes. Try to keep those hips square. Good. And then knee comes into the nose with that angry cat back, high on the left toes. And then slowly and with control, you're going to step that right foot between the hands, finding a low lunge. So nice deep bend in the right leg. We're looking for that 90-degree angle, high on the left toes, hips and shoulders square. Now you can keep your fingers down. You can come to blocks just to bring the earth a little bit closer to you. Good. Or you can even hover. Just make sure you're not resting that top body on that thigh. Good. See if you get a little lower for one more breath. We have a straight leg pose coming up next. Take a nice deep inhale. Good. And exhale. If your hands are lifted, bring them back to the earth or to blocks. We're going to bump up that left foot a little bit, plant it on a 45, and then straighten that right leg and fold. So 45 means that my toes are facing the top left corner of my mat. Right now we are in pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana, so that means straight legs and square hips. If you find your hips are starting to open, really think about plugging the right hip back, rolling the left hip forward so they're facing the top of your mat. And let the top body hang heavy over that right leg. Once more, let's create a little space with that halfway lift. So inhale. Good. And then on the exhale, fold. Good. Letting gravity do the work here. Getting a nice big stretch in the back of that right leg. And then we're going to start to bring a bend into that right leg as the arms lift straight overhead, finding warrior one. So again, square hips, left foot's planted on a 45, nice deep bend in the right leg. If you find that you're opening like I always do, drop that left arm to square the shoulders, and then bring it back up. Shoulders and hips should be facing the front. Good, so you can go a little bit deeper for one more breath. Good. Shoulders away from ears, pinkies are spiraled in. Preparing for warrior two. Take a nice inhale breath. And on the exhale, slice it open. So looking for that heel to heel alignment. Left toes facing the side. Really big bend in this right leg. Right knee is not tracking in. Gazing off that right middle finger. Good. Make sure the top body's not leaning forward or back. We're nice and centered. 2 more breaths. I know you feel that burn on that right leg. We're going to get a straight leg pose next, so give it all you've got. Good. 1 more full breath. And then as you start to straighten the right leg, let's take a nice side body stretch in our peaceful triangle. So left fingertips crawl down the left leg. Right arm frames out the right ear. Good. You can have those fingertips continue to walk down the leg, or maybe even wrap them around the small of your back. See what option feels better for you. Good. Reach back for 1 more breath. And then bring that bend back into the right leg as we rest the right forearm. Left arm peels up high to the sky, stacking shoulders. Good. Using that right forearm again to nudge this knee slightly. Not tracking in where we want it forward or slightly to the right. Gaze can be up at the left hand or down toward the right foot, whatever feels better for you. Nice deep bend. That back foot's all the way to the back of the mat, so you feel a nice hip stretch as well. Good. See if you can go a little bit deeper for 1 more breath. And then as we bring that left hand down to the inside of the right foot, let's spin onto the ball of the left foot. And we're going to peel it up to the other side, easy twist. Right arm peels up high to the sky. You can stay here in your easy twist, or since we did that modified side plank, this is a great transition into a full side plank, stacking that right leg on top of the left. Good. If you want to drop the knee and take it modified, that's a great variation. If you want to find that balance here again by lifting the right leg or any other option, you're welcome to. Good. Let's take 1 more breath wherever you are. Let's all meet in our traditional plank, top of a push-up. Again, you don't have to flow. You can hold the plank or go to down dog, but if you want to flow, inhale. Exhale, we lower halfway. Inhale, find our back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog, so we can do that all again on the second side. Take a moment, take a nice deep breath here in your down dog. Find your center. Good. Then left leg's going to lift, finding that 3-legged dog. Good. Keep everything square here. See if you get a little bit higher with that left leg. And then knee comes into the nose with that angry cat back, high on the ball of the right foot. And step that left foot between the hands, finding your low lunge. Taking a moment to get set up here in the foundation of so many of our poses. So nice deep bend in the left leg. We really want that 90-degree angle. As you bend, you'll feel that stretch on the front of the right hip. Ball of the foot of the right side. Peace fingers, blocks, or we hover. Really engage the core and inner thighs to help if you want to hover here. See if you can get a little bit lower. You know we have a straight leg pose on deck. Good. So as we prepare for pyramid, let's lower the hands if they're not there. We're going to step up that right foot a little bit, plant it on a 45 so our toes are facing the top right corner. And then the top body folds over straight left leg. So in pyramid, again, the most important things are straight legs and square hips. Square means they're facing the front. Another great place for blocks. Take a nice halfway lift on our inhale. As we're here, plug that left hip back, roll the right hip forward. On the exhale breath, fold. Good, letting gravity open up the back of the left leg, even into the back, that whole posterior chain a little bit here. Good, let's take one more full breath. Then we're going to bring a nice deep bend into that left leg. Right foot still on that 45-degree angle. Hands like parallel train tracks up and overhead. Pinkies are spiraled in. Shoulders away from ears. Good. I like to, again, drop that right hand. Make sure my shoulders are square. And then bring it back up for our Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Good. So you can get a little bit deeper in that bend. Good. Preparing to transition to Warrior 2. Take a nice inhale breath to prepare. Exhale, we slice open the arms, right toes facing the side, deep bend in that left leg, gazing off that left middle finger. Ooh. Feel it on that left leg. I don't know about you guys. Good. Seating it a little bit lower here. You know we have straight legs coming up again. Good. Keep that top body nice and centered. Good. And then simultaneously, as you straighten that left leg, left arm frames out the face, the bicep, and we walk those right fingertips down that right leg for a peaceful triangle. Nice big side body stretch. You have the other variation to wrap the arm around the small of the back if that feels better. Good. See if you can reach to the back a little bit more for our final breath here. Good. Then we bend that left leg once more. Forearm, left forearm to the top of that thigh. Right arm peels up high to the sky as we stack shoulders and stack hips. So stack means one's on top of the other. Good. Use that left forearm to gently nudge that left hip open. Nice deep bend here. Right foot should be all the way toward the back of the mat. It's a nice big lunge pose here. We're going to keep it for one more full breath. Good, then we're going to bring that right hand down to the inside of the left foot, rolling onto the ball of the right toes. Left arm peels up high to the sky, easy twist. Good. Now you know you have the option to stay in this easy twist, but our final pose on this sequence is a side plank. So if you want to take it, continue to roll to the outer edge of the right foot, left leg stacks on top of the right. You can drop the knee for a modified variation like we did at the beginning. And from here, you can take it anywhere you want. Lift the leg, drop the arm. Any other fancy tricks you guys have at home, feel free. Good, let's take one more breath wherever we are. Come back to our traditional plank. And if you're going to move through your flow, lowering halfway for chaturanga. Finding your back bend of choice. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Good, we have one more short standing sequence. A little bit of balance work. So if you need to grab a sip of water, go for it. You guys are at home, you can always pause me if you need to, right? Come back. But if you're with me, we're going to walk the hands slowly to the back of the mat to meet the feet. So we'll be at the back of the mat in this forward fold. And then we're going to take a nice slow rise to stand. Whew. Good. Okay, so let's start by bringing the weight into the left foot. Find a drishti, something in the room that's not moving. You can stare at something small. And let's bring that right knee into the chest. I always like to start with my hands at prayer heart center. Pressing at the midline, breathing, drishti will all help with your balance, which is something I know so many of us need help with as I kind of wobble as I tell you that. Good. Now you can stay here, or you can even open that right knee to the side. Good. Left arm out to the side might help with the balance. Good. Stay right here. If any of you at home want to take this further, no need. You can peace finger the right big toe and kind of really open that up here. But there's absolutely no need for that. Just giving you guys options. We'll stay right here with my right knee out to the side. Good. One more breath wherever you are. Ooh. Fight it if you're going to fall out of it. If you fall out, you get right back in, right? Good. Let's bring the knee back center. Hands to prayer. Let's take a big step forward with that right foot, and we're going to shift into our warrior three. So we're on the right leg this time. The left leg is extended hip height, left foot is flexed. Hands at prayer for me. You can take any other arm variation. You want airplane arms to the back, to the ground, to modify to blocks, whatever works for you. One more full breath here. And then listen, we're going to step that left foot to meet the right, and we're going to sink it into chair pose just for a couple of breaths. So like you're sitting in a chair, tailbones tucked, arms overhead, squeeze those inner thighs together like you're sitting down. Good, get a little lower for one more breath. And then let's straighten the legs, gentle back bend if that's in your practice. And then we'll meet standing with the hands at prayer heart center. We're going to do that on the other side now. And I'm just going to step back so you can see me once more. Take a breath if you need to. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Good. This time, weight comes into the right foot. Left knee comes into the chest. Flex that foot. Use the core to draw that knee up. Good. You have options to stay here. If you open that left knee, use the left hand to open it up. Right hand out to the side can help with your balance. Good. You know, you can stay right here. If you took it further on the other side, interlace to grab the peace fingers, you can. No need for this though if that's not in your practice. Just always like to give you guys options, ways to challenge yourself. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Try not to fall. There we go. Okay. Let's take one more breath. Let's start to bring that knee back into the center in front, hands to prayer heart center. And controlled, we're going to take that big step forward with the left foot as we shift and lift. Try not to fall into our warrior three. Good, so left leg straight, right leg's extended, just hip height, flex the right foot. And again, you know you have options with your arms. If you want to bring them out to the side, you want to bring them behind you. So maybe out front. Good. One more full breath, balanced. And then that right foot's going to step to meet the left as we sink into our chair pose for the final time. Utkatasana. Side view. We don't want to pop the booty. We want to tuck the tailbone under like we're sitting down. Arms come straight up. Suck in the core. Nice tall chest. We're not leaning forward. Good. See if you can get a little bit lower. Final breath here. Squeeze the inner thighs. Feel the legs burn. Good. Doesn't challenge you. It doesn't change you, right? And let's get some relief. Straighten legs. Gentle back bend if that's in your practice. This time we'll take the hands through prayer heart center. We're going to take it all the way down to a forward fold. Whew. Good. Hang for just a moment. Maybe bend one knee at a time. Maybe sway side to side. See what feels good for you. Good. Let's plant the palms. Step back to our high plank pose. Or you can jump back if you have that in your practice. And let's take a nice controlled, slow lower to our bellies. When you get there, untuck the toes, widen them, mats with distance. Let's press through the palms, finding that high cobra once more. Again, if high cobra is too much, take a peek. You can just lift halfway. So let's take a quick gaze off the right shoulder while we're here. Good. Come back through center. Take that gaze off the left shoulder. Coming back through center. Good. And then slowly lower. Whew. Good. Take a quick breath. Take a sip of water if you need to. Maybe a quick child's pose. We are going to roll over. So keep your head at the top of the mat, feet at the bottom. Just roll over onto your backs. I'm just going to turn to the side so you guys can see me if you need a little visual. Take a couple stretches on the ground to round out our practice today. Good. So knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor. Bring the heels nice and close to your sits bones. Arms along the sides. And we're going to lift into a bridge pose. So really shimmy your shoulder blades closer together. Maybe even interlace the hands underneath the glutes. Good. And think about lifting your hips, making sure that your chin and chest are giving some space so you can have your air flow freely. Good. See if you can lift a little bit higher. Good. Gently lower. And let's just drop the knees side to side. Windshield wiper out that lower back. We're going to take one more bridge pose together. Nice gentle back bend. Good. Coming back center once more. Heels nice and close to the sits bones. Shimmy those shoulder blades underneath as you lift the hips. Good. Interlace the hands if that's available. Make sure the knees are staying nice and narrow. Almost like, and if you have a block, you guys can test this. Put like there's a block between them. You don't want them to splay out wide. Good. Don't hold your breath. Lift a little higher. Good. Gently lower. Once more. Let's windshield wiper those knees side to side. Good. Loosen up that lower back. Okay. Let's hug the knees into the chest. And let's grab the right knee with the right hand, left knee with the left hand, and just gently start to open the knees like you're opening the pages of a book, finding Malasana. This is a reclined prayer squat here. Oh, getting a nice stretch in the inner thigh and the groin area. Good. And you could stay right here if this feels great for you, but I want to give you one other option. If you want to take a happy baby instead, you can reach for the outer edge of the feet or peace fingers to the big toes. And start to draw the knees in toward the armpits, soles of the feet facing the ceiling. Good. So whichever option feels good for you, whether you're taking that reclined Malasana or this happy baby. Maybe in your happy baby you find stillness. Maybe you find a little movement here. Another one of those poses like puppy, right? You've seen puppies take that stretch. You've seen babies kind of take these movements before. Good. Nice gentle way to get into the hips. Good, whatever you're in, let's release that. Take a moment. And we're going to round down our class, wind it up with an inversion. The easiest one, and we're in the perfect position for it, is to take a waterfall. So straightening the legs, high to the sky. If you're looking, I have a little micro bend. They don't need to be locked out. Good. And if you have a wall close by and you want to shimmy up next to it so your legs are up the wall, that's a really great restorative variation of this pose. Now, if you have any other inversion practice, if you want to come into a headstand, handstand, forearm stand, you're welcome to. Even if you want to take this a little bit higher, coming into a shoulder stand or a plow pose by dropping the feet. You have a couple moments to play here, but no need to do anything other than lifting the leg, just taking an inversion, really beneficial to the body for a lot of reasons. But if this is a lot for you guys, a nice little trick. If you bring a block underneath that lower back area, it kind of makes it a little bit easier here to hang out. And we're just going to take a few more breaths in whatever inversion you are in. Kind of lift the legs, let the body kind of reverse things. It's good for stress and anxiety. It's also energizing too. Good for lymphatic draining. With your legs up the wall, guys, if you take a couple minutes a day, it's supposed to have some really amazing health benefits. Feels good too. Let's take like 2 to 3 more breaths in whatever inversion or pose you are currently in. Good, then we'll slowly start to lower out of that, lower everything back to the ground. Good. Let's take a nice full body stretch. Good, and then find a nice comfortable variation on your backs. Before you get too comfy, if you need to take a sip of water, change your music, change your lighting, go for it. But we're going to come into our final resting pose. If you're on my playlist, we're going to come all the way to the end to limitations. Let's take a nice deep inhale and exhale to help settle in here. So breathe in through the nose, fill all the way up. Open mouth, really let it go. Good, close your eyes, settle in. Let your body fall where it may. And try to find some stillness here in your final resting pose. Right, so many of us are on the go all day, every day. And it's okay to slow down. It's okay to recharge. It's okay to just take a few moments out of your entire day. Just focus on your breath. Focus on your body. Notice how it feels. Think back how it felt, about 40 minutes or so ago when we were just starting. Hopefully you're feeling a little warmer, a little looser, a little calmer. Things that I hope you will be able to take off your mat with you into your day, into your week ahead. Just settling in here for a few more moments of stillness. Noticing if there's any areas of tension that you can soften, that you can visualize the breath going to and releasing and letting go. Deep inhales and exhales, nice and steady. Preparing yourself for the day that lies ahead. Entering into it with some calm and peace. Taking just a few more breaths. And if you're with me regularly, I tell you every week, if you can stay here longer, please do. You can mute me, turn me off, and continue your final resting pose. If there's something you're new at, you're struggling with, or you have a full day ahead of you and you want to get out of this, let's just take about 2 more breaths. Then we'll slowly start to come out of our final rest. If nothing else, noticing your breath, something we do all day, every day. We rarely kind of take stake in it, take hold of it, bring our attention to it. Good. Gently bringing some attention back to the body, maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes. Good. Let's take that full body stretch once more. So bring the legs together to touch, pointing the toes. Extending the arms overhead, nice big reach back. Good, feeling a nice long line of energy all the way from your fingertips to your toes. Good, then hugging those knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around them. And then rolling over onto your right side, finding fetal pose, just as a way to help us get up. After our Shavasana, our corpse pose, we find a position of rebirth and renewal, of new starts. Good, using your left hand for some support, just gently guiding yourself back up into a seated position. Doesn't matter which leg's in front. Palms can face up or down or prayer at center. Again, eyes open and closed. Always just whatever feels good for you, whatever feels right. There's no right or wrong, as long as you are honoring your body. Now let's take one collective breath to wrap up our class. So we're all breathing together, imagining we're all in the same space, breathing for your neighbor. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Good. Open mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. Really let it go. I always like to end with my hands at prayer heart center, bowing the head toward the heart. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. Keep peace in the mind, strength in the body, and love in the heart. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Hope everyone is feeling well, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. Stay tuned, guys. Be switching up sometimes, so stay in the Facebook group for some alerts on that.